Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to wherever you are in the world. Hello and welcome. I am so excited that you're joining us here for today's webinar, Financial Freedom in 12 Easy Steps, where you get to know exactly where your money is going and find out how to keep more of it. If you have ever felt stressed about money or worried about upcoming bills or felt like you were doing everything right but you still weren't getting ahead, then you are in the right place. Firstly, I want to say thank you for trusting me with your time and for letting me be just a small part of your journey to financial freedom. Have you ever had that feeling of anxiety when you know that there is a big bill about to come off your bank account and you're hoping that there's enough money in your account to cover it? I know I've been there. I know that feeling all too well, especially when my annual health insurance bill for my family of 4 is due. Or have you ever had that feeling of confusion where you check your bank balance and wonder, like, where did all my money go? Did you know that most people feel that they have a lack of money, but the real issue is actually a lack of control or a lack of clarity about where your money is going? And many of you may have tried traditional budgeting apps. I know I've tried them too, but these apps, they just throw data at you, right? They show you what the problem is, but they don't provide you with any support to find a solution, which is how to change behavior and build habits. And let's face it, changing behavior is hard. And the best way to start is through awareness and through knowledge of proven strategies that work. So this is what we're going to do in today's webinar. If you are ready to see exactly where your money is going and ready to put in place steps to keep more of it, then type "let's go" in the comments or the chat section. Okay, so what if I told you that in just 12 weeks, you could transform from feeling financially anxious to feeling completely in control? That you could follow an easy, proven system to pay down debt faster and start investing and truly build long-term wealth. That is exactly what the Financial Freedom in 12 Steps guided system is designed to do. It's designed for you to take one step at a time, once a week, and within less than 3 months, you will be well on your way to financial freedom. Today, I'm going to share the exact framework, the exact steps that you can take to get there. By the end of this webinar, you will understand the 3 lies of traditional finance that keep you stuck, the 12-step strategy that gives you instant financial clarity, and the simple, non-negotiable step to becoming an investor in 3 short months. We are going to make money management simple, secure, and help you transform the way that you think about money in order to create abundance in your life for years to come. And step 1, the first step, is a deep dive into knowing your numbers. Every successful business knows its numbers. It knows its revenue, its expenses, its net profit. And we are going to treat the business of your life in the same way. One of the biggest mistakes that people can make is hiding from the truth. And in this first step, we end the guessing game. The most powerful action that you can take right now is this. Download the last 3 bank statements from each of your accounts. You're checking your current account and every single one of your credit cards, and then categorize them into fixed and essential expenses or discretionary expenses. An important thing to note is that everything I show you today can be done in an Excel spreadsheet or on old school pen and paper, whichever works for you. But in order to make things a little bit easier, we've created an app to make it super simple for you to input your data and immediately see how you're progressing along the 12 steps. And if you're using our app, you can easily upload the information that you downloaded from your bank accounts and then simply categorize the data in the app. Unlike traditional budgeting apps, we are not going to link your bank accounts. Why? Because we're not just tracking money here, we are actually changing habits. The act of manually entering your transactions, right? Of seeing that $600 monthly coffee spend as an example, not just as a magic number, but as a conscious choice that you have to record, this is where the magic happens. This intentional, yes, sometimes painstaking input is what separates mere awareness from actual lasting financial control. Once you have categorized all your expenses and grouped them, you can see exactly where you are spending your money, and we can move on to step 2. And if you're using our app, it allows you to easily categorize every single expense into the 2 buckets: fixed or essential, the must-pay bills like rent and utilities, or discretionary, everything else like that new subscription or dining out. This straightforward discipline of tracking your expenses isn't just about budgeting. It's about defining your reality. And the moment you finish, you will clearly see the core truth of your finances, your net profit or deficit. This essential foundation, step number 1, is the data that you need to start building meaningful financial habits and start consistently growing your wealth. All right, step number 2, trim the fat. You have the numbers, you've categorized all your expenses, and you know exactly where your money is going, right? Now for the easiest money that you will ever earn, the money that you stop spending. In step 2, trim the fat, we immediately go after the lowest hanging fruit. Have a look at your discretionary expenses and challenge yourself to cut your total monthly spend by 10 to 30% in the next 12 weeks, the next 3 months. Think of things like, do you genuinely need those 3 streaming services? Or can you negotiate your cell phone bill? Or is there a small reoccurring subscription that you actually haven't used in months? That 10 to 30% cut is money that goes directly into building your future. And this is where our app's dashboard is a game changer. You don't just guess. You see the precise breakdown and model your potential savings in real time. So steps 1 and 2 of this program are about looking at past behavior and choosing where to make changes in your spending. In step 3, we lock in those new savings by introducing a non-negotiable concept we call pay yourself first. We are all constantly told to pay our debts first, but this flawed belief often leaves us with nothing to pay ourselves. Here at MindShift Theory, we have flipped that script. Your first transfer of the month should be to your savings, to your investment accounts, to your future self. Set up automatic transfers. Aim for 10% savings right out the gate if you can. This is how you consistently build wealth without having to think about it. We'll talk more about this in step 6, but it's important to make sure that you start as soon as possible with putting aside whatever you can for your future self. Now in step 4, let's talk about one of the biggest wealth killers, debt. The single biggest drain on your wealth building potential is high interest debt. And that is why step 4, conquering your debt, is so critical. Have a look at all of your debt and write every single one down. Your mortgage, your car loan, your student loan, credit cards or store card, list them all. What is your balance on each account? Sort them from smallest balance to biggest balance. And what are the interest rates that you're paying on each? Write it down. Do you know how long it will take you to pay off each account? Do you know the total interest that you will pay over the full life of the loan? You can use our app to calculate this if you're unsure. By inputting your balances and payments into our app, you can immediately see the total interest that you will pay over the life of the loan. This is often a shocking number that then becomes a powerful motivator. If you can pay just a small amount extra each month, perhaps money freed up from step 2 savings, if you do that, you can save thousands of dollars and dramatically reduce your time to debt freedom. So start today. Choose the smallest loan first, which very likely has the highest interest rate, and set a goal to increase your monthly payments and eliminate that debt, and then move on to the next smallest until you are completely debt-free. In our app, we give you the plan to pay down high-interest debt strategically, and you can clearly see how much sooner you will have eliminated the debt altogether. The app also includes scripts and actions for calling to ask for rate reductions. And then as you begin to pay off your high interest debt, you will see more and more of your money available. And this is very, very important for step number 5 in our process: building an emergency fund. An emergency fund might not sound very exciting, but it is one of the smartest financial moves that you will ever make. And here's why. Life will always throw surprises at you. The car breaks down, or the water heater quits in the middle of winter, or the kids get sick. And if you don't have cash set aside for these expenses, those surprises will usually end up on a credit card with high interest piling on and keeping you stuck. An emergency fund flips that story. It's not just money in a savings account, it's a peace of mind fund. It's knowing that you can handle whatever comes your way without derailing your goals. And it actually creates space for abundance, because when you are not worrying about that what if, you can focus your energy on growth, investing, creating, and building wealth. And you don't need to start big, right? Begin with a quick buffer, $500 or $1,000, and then work your way up to get to 3 to 6 months of expenses. Every deposit, no matter how small, builds the safety net that protects your future. And where do you keep this emergency fund? Be sure not to keep it in your checking or current account or even a regular savings account, right? Inflation will be shrinking your money faster than it's growing. Look for high-yield savings accounts. You're looking for an account with more than 3% interest. Research high-yield savings accounts with companies like American Express or Capital One or Wealthfront. Or if you're in the UK, look for savings accounts or ISAs with any of your larger retail banks. Think of this emergency fund like a shield. Your emergency fund guards the wealth that you're building, so you never have to start over. And that security gives you freedom. The freedom to dream bigger, take calculated risks, and create a life where money no longer holds you back. Now on to step 6. Most people believe that they need to be rich, right? Or that you need to have a lot of money to invest. And that is a lie. In step number 6, start investing. What you're going to do is put the savings that you've already created in steps 2 and 4 and already automated in step number 3, you're going to put this money to work using the simplest, most powerful long-term wealth strategy. This is how you start making money like the top 1% wealthiest people in the world do, using investment tools like high-yield savings accounts. Yes, using this as an investment strategy, not just a savings tool, and low-cost index funds, specifically stable, proven options like the S&P 500 ETFs, for example. Our app can help guide you through setting up both and provide smart suggestions for companies to consider. Here we take full advantage of compounding interest. If you want to see the power of compounding interest, if you invested an initial $12,000 and constantly added just $500 extra a month over the course of 30 years, your potential retirement wealth is well over $1.3 million. The power of compounding is multiplied the earlier you begin investing, so start today. And if you have a young adult in your circle, share this with them today. Tiny investments that begin early in your career can set you up for life. In our app, we show you exactly how to start small, how to stay consistent, and literally watch your money compound. This is $1 million habit. And then step number 7 is about leveling up your income. Here we think outside of the box and look at other ways that you can actually make more money. Because in your journey of building wealth, there is actually only so much that you can cut, right? There's only so much that you can stop spending, but your potential for earning is literally unlimited. So in this step, you focus on strategies on how to actually earn additional income. And that could be by proactively going to your boss and saying, hey, I've worked really hard. I deserve a raise, right? Have that discussion about your value, because you are valuable. And if you are doing amazing work, you deserve to be given a raise, right? Another way we can level up our income is by doing side hustles, anything from some Fiverr work or some gig work that you can do in your spare time. Because your 9 to 5 job should be just that, 9 to 5, not 9 to 9. Those extra hours are exactly the hours that you can utilize in order to level up your income. Other ways that you can think about leveling up your income over time is to invest in yourself. And that could be going to learn a new skill, like doing an entrepreneurial course, or learning how to edit videos using AI, for example. The AI revolution is going to revolutionize all jobs out there. We are entering a completely new world with regards to how people make money. The opportunities in the new economy are almost endless. So it's just a matter of thinking out the box. And that is why Step 7 is here, to help you think outside the box. So with that said, let's jump into the app dashboard to see just exactly how easy it is to start thinking about opportunities to boost your income. The dashboard gives you key insights and ideas for income generation, and it works as a checklist for you to add your ideas and to keep them front of mind and then check them off as you go, so that you always have at hand visibility of the additional income that you can then use for investments to actually grow your wealth over time. And then step number 8, defining your savings goals. There is a recent study that shows that you are 42% more likely to achieve your goal simply by writing it down. It's not about memory or remembering, it's about the commitment. When you write something down, you are sending a signal to your brain that this matters enough to exist outside of just in my head. And your brain treats written goals as contracts with yourself. And so that's what we do in step number 8. Again, the app dashboard works as a checklist or vision board for your financial goals. Because when you write down your goals, you're not just recording your aspirations, you're taking the first step towards making them real. And then we move on to step number 9, mastering credit cards. Let's talk about something that gets a really bad reputation, right? Credit cards. Most people are taught to fear them. We hear things like cut them up or credit cards only lead to debt. But the truth is, credit cards are not the problem. The mindset and the misuse of credit cards are. When used wisely, credit cards can actually be a powerful tool for building wealth. And here are a few powerful tools for utilizing your credit cards. Make sure to pay it in full every month. This keeps you from paying interest and protects your credit score. Keep your utilization low. Try to use less than 30% of your available credit limit. It shows the lenders that you can manage money responsibly. Automate payments and never miss a due date, and track your rewards intentionally. If you're earning points or cashback, treat it like a small income stream. Reinvest it or save it. In our app, we share more best practices for using your credit cards to get out of debt and to grow your wealth. I know that there are other financial coaches out there that warn you from using credit cards. But here at MindShift Theory, our approach is not to lock the door, but rather to give you the key, to give you the tools to manage debt and to show you how to use it wisely. When you manage credit cards with intention, you turn what most people see as a trap into a financial tool. All right, now we're on to step number 10, tracking your net worth. In step number 10, we talk about what most people avoid, your net worth. For some, even hearing that phrase sounds uncomfortable. We instantly think things like, oh, I don't want to know, or that number just makes me feel behind. To be honest, it wasn't until I was almost 40 that I even knew what the term net worth meant. But here is the truth. Knowing your net worth isn't about judgment, it's about awareness. And awareness is the foundation of growth. Your net worth is simply what you own minus what you owe. It's a snapshot of your financial health, your starting point on the map of wealth creation. But here is the shift. Your net worth is not your self-worth. It's just a number that tells you where you are so that you can decide where you want to go. Think of it like checking your GPS before going on a road trip. You can't get to your destination if you don't know where you're starting from. Knowing your net worth helps you make smarter and more confident financial decisions. It gives you clarity not just about what you have, but about what's working and what's not working and where the leaks are that need to be patched up. And when you understand your net worth, you start to see patterns. Maybe your debt is growing faster than your savings. Or maybe your assets are just sitting still when they could be earning. Awareness leads to intentional action, and intentional action builds wealth. For many of us, money still feels heavy and we avoid looking at it. But what you avoid actually controls you. And when you face your finances with courage, you take back your power. Suddenly that number, whether big or small, becomes a motivator, not a measure of worth. Because progress starts the moment you stop hiding from where you are. The first step is simple. Write it down or use the app to easily input and track your data. List what you own, your savings, investments, your home, your business assets, any other assets, and then list what you owe. Credit cards, loans, car loans, mortgages. Subtract what you owe from what you own, and that is your net worth. And then review it every few months and watch it change. And celebrate, and be sure to celebrate your small wins, because once you start tracking it, you start shaping it. Your net worth isn't just a financial measure. It's a mirror of your choices, your growth, and your relationship with money. And knowing it gives you power, clarity, and direction. So don't be afraid to look. That number is just data, and data gives you the control. Because awareness is not intimidating, awareness is empowering. And when you know where you stand, you can confidently create where you're going. And then we move on to step number 11, review your spending. In step 11, you will spend time reviewing your spending and all the changes that you made in steps 2 and 7. And if you are taking one step a week, it'll be a month or two since you began making the changes. The app allows you to continue inputting and categorizing your expenses every single month so that you can look back at the changes to your spending habits month by month, celebrate your wins, and take the next step in achieving total financial freedom. And lastly, step number 12, planning your ultimate stretch goals. Step number 12 is for you to plan your longer term goals, your stretch goals, and then break them down into smaller, actionable steps. And again, if you write down your goals, you are more likely to achieve those goals. This is where you create your financial vision board, whether that is to reach $1 million net worth within a 10-year period, or saving that 20 to 30% that you need for the down payment on the house of your dreams. Step 10 helps you to write it down and then break down the steps towards achieving that goal. You don't have to know all the steps in advance, right? The premise here is to start thinking about what you need to do in order to achieve that goal. And you can use the app to keep those goals front of mind. And that's it, the 12 steps to create financial wealth. These are the steps needed for you to create good financial habits that are not overwhelming and easy to stick to. By following these steps and implementing just one new step a week, you can actually rewire your brain and overcome any obstacles or limiting financial beliefs that you may have. You'll see the progress week by week, which acts as an additional motivator to keep you moving forward towards your goal. And as a bonus, you can continue using the app every single month to track your spending way beyond the initial 3-month period. So in just 12 weeks, you will move from confusion and frustration to absolute financial command.